what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I recently moved out, which a lot of you probably know by now, and I had to quickly discover ways that was going to essentially save me money. Living at your own place is not cheap, and it took a lot of trial and error to come up with these 5 tricks that are going to save you some money. So the first trick I have for you guys is to take a look at your subscriptions. Subscriptions can be a great thing just because of how cheap they are per month. A lot of people look at that and they're like, whoa, like 12 bucks a month, like that's super cheap. But realistically, it's not just 12 bucks. If you calculate the yearly, it's a lot higher. So for example, Netflix in Canada, for me personally, it cost me about 14 bucks a month. You multiply that by 12 and it's actually $168 per year. I'm paying $9 per month for Disney Plus times 12, that is $108. DAZN, the sports streaming app, is just about $20 a month times 12 is $240. And then for all my single fellas out there, you know, Tinder Plus, that's $75 a year, but are you really going on that many dates that you need to be paying 75 bucks out of your hard-earned money to, you know, not really go on that many dates? Go talk to a girl, it's free. The reason subscriptions can be a huge negative is just because of how easy they are to forget about. Are you really going to be stressing really hard about your $14 Netflix subscription? Probably not, but if you're only watching Netflix like once a month, is it really worth $14 and $168 per year? Probably not. A good way to really calculate which ones you should actually keep is to look at that yearly price. Like, for example, if it's costing you like 500 bucks a year and you're using it like once a month, probably isn't worth it. For me, DAZN, the sports app that I was talking about earlier, was the big one for myself. It's like 20 bucks a month. It came to over $200 a year, and I was watching like one Man United game a month, and it is definitely not worth over $200 to watch that. I can just go on a website online and watch it for free. The second tip that I have for you guys is coffee. Now, if you guys are like me, you love coffee. As soon as I wake up, it's coffee time. Now, a lot of people will buy their coffee on the way to work, which I don't blame them. It's super easy. You're already on the road. You might as well. For myself, I'm a big McCafe, McDonald's coffee guy. And a large double-double in Canada costs me about $2.05 after tax. You multiply that by 30, which is an average month, we're looking at $61.50. Even if it was the $1 coffee days, you're still looking at $30 a month and $365 per year. Now, a quick hack and trick that I've found to, still get that McCafe quality in your coffee. Same thing applies for like Starbucks and all that, but I like McCafe. I go to Costco and I buy 70 Keurig pods of McCafe coffee for $35. That equals 50 cents a coffee, which is $15 a month, and $182.50 per year, which is half the price of buying dollar coffees at McDonald's year round, which they don't even do that. I just thought I'd toss that stat out there to kind of really show you what's going on. And then let's pretend dollar coffees didn't even exist. If you were just paying that $2.05 for a coffee, you're looking at $748.25 a year. Coffee can seem really transactional, just tap, boom, there's $2 gone, whatever. You do it once a day and you don't really care about it. You're like, it's $2. I make that in like a few minutes or whatever. But it adds up. Almost $800 a year is a pretty significant number. And that's just accounting for the people that buy coffee once a day, let alone the people that buy 2 or 3 coffees a day. That number just gets ridiculous. So save on coffee, buy some Keurig pods from Costco, and you are good to go. My third tip, guys, is really think about how much this thing that you want is worth. The best way to do this is really just calculate how much you earn per hour and then see how much of your life that you're trading away to work just to buy this thing. Now, a big one that kind of opened my eyes to this whole concept is like, if I'm making minimum wage in Ontario, which is $14, and say I work full time and I get a 1-hour unpaid break, a lot of people will go buy food, which basically equates to just about $14, give or take, $2 or $3. So what a lot of people are doing is they're working for a full hour, getting the $14, go on the break, spend the $14, and then go back to work to make more money. It just blows my mind because like if you're gonna go work and then just spend the money on like food or something else and then spend the money specifically on like food, it just blows my mind. It's just a weird expense that you really don't need to make. And this can apply for everything. It doesn't have to be food. You can look at like a TV, for example. Like this TV, I actually bought for a really good price. It was $500 for a 4K 55-inch TV. That's pretty decent pricing. Let's say this is like a super crazy TV, like say it's like $2,000 or $1,500 or whatever. Is it really worth all those hours at work just to buy the TV? In most cases, probably not, unless you're like a huge movie guy or video games, something like that. But this concept has helped a lot because you got to realize like how much of your life you're actually trading to make that money and then how much you're actually spending. It's a big eye opener. Now, the fourth tip I have for you guys is to have a separate savings account. Now, a lot of you might be like me. If you see that number in your main bank account, that is like your money. Like you can, spend it on things you want. You can use it for bills. You can use it for traveling, for food, whatever. And to me, it didn't matter. Like it didn't matter if I had my checking and saving. At the bottom, it just has the total. So I just see the total and I'm like, okay, I have this much money to play around with. Horrible mindset. So what I had to do was basically make a separate savings account, like completely separate, not even the same bank or anything, just so that I wouldn't, see that as money that I could just take and use for whatever I needed or wanted. It's just the concept of, having something and then you're automatically going to use it. So like, for example, if you have a full tank of gas, you're more likely to actually drive around and go places, maybe go for a little road trip or something. But if you have like a quarter tank of gas, you are going to use that very strategically. You're going to go to work, home, grocery store, gym, like that's pretty much it. No joy rides and driving around like let's go for a 1 hour drive tonight, babe. Like none of that stuff. Just the concept of like, realizing what you have and what you actually need to use versus just, blowing everything up. Like, go to the mall. Oh, I have $500. Let's go spend $500 at the mall. No, put that in a separate account. Some companies even have like a deductible that you have to pay in order to take that money and use it. It's normally not like a huge fee. They're not going to charge you like $100 or something, but normally it's around like the $2 to $5 range. And that small fee really prevents a lot of people from grabbing that savings money, putting it in their checking and then spending it. So I think it's a really, really good idea to get a separate savings account from your checking. And then the fifth and final tip and trick I have for you guys is to make a budget. So before I started shooting this video, I was actually really curious on how many people actually use a budget. So it looks like only 41% of Americans, specifically in this study, actually use the budget, which was pretty alarming. I know 41% seems pretty high, but in reality, that means 59% of people are not. Alexa, how many people are in America?
According to the CIA World Factbook, as of 2017, the population of the United States is 327 million people.
So basically what that told me is that over 100 million people have no idea what money is coming in and out. They're just kind of, swinging the credit card, swinging the debit card, tossing the cash aside, and not knowing anything about their finances by not having a budget. One way that's super simple to really just start budgeting is I would say the majority of people in like North America have Apple devices. Now the cool thing about Apple is they have an app called Numbers, and this is the app that I specifically use for budgeting. There's tons of websites and different apps that you can use, but since I'm a big Apple guy, like I really, really like the Numbers app. There is literally a budget template. It is the easiest thing I have ever done. You literally just plug in all your expenses, what they are, how much they cost, how much you're making, and then it makes a chart for you, and it literally tells you all the stats that you need to know. And now if you're not super confident with using applications like this, you can also book free appointments at your local bank or the bank that you're using personally, and you can book financial planning and budgeting sessions with an actual professional for free. One of the biggest things I like to preach on this channel and in real life life is like, if you have the help available to you, use it. Like if your back hurts and your muscles ache and stuff, like there is a thing called a massage therapist and a chiropractor. If your teeth hurt, there is a dentist. If you want to lose weight and you haven't been able to do it on your own, there's a thing called a personal trainer. People don't realize all these services and, places you can go for help are literally right in front of them. But just a lot of people are really, really stubborn on like, hey, I gotta do this on my own. And no, it does not work like that. I wish it did. My dad almost instilled this kind of idea in my head. He's like stereotypical Portuguese guy. He likes to do everything on his own. Like if it's electrical work, he'll do it. If it's like yard work, he'll do it. If it's cement, he'll do it. But when I became an adult, I realized like, hey, I don't want to really do that. So for example, like if you're having a huge problem with how to budget, you have those free services right at your bank down the road. Use them. Now that you know the Numbers app has a budgeting template, use it. And then you can do a whole bunch of other stuff. Like you can read books, you can watch YouTube videos, you can ask for help from like a successful family member or something. Like the possibilities are really endless for you. But that is pretty much it, guys. That is the 5 biggest things that I've learned after moving out on my own on how to actually save money. Because before I lived on my own, I could care less. I would just spend whatever I want, do whatever I want, travel, go watch sports games, toss things on credit cards, do whatever I wanted. And now that this is like the real life, I have my own home, I have my own bills, I gotta be conscious of what's coming in and what's going out. So these are the 5 things that really help me out, and I hope they will help you guys out. Leave a comment down below of what your favorite way to save money is and how much it has helped you. But for now, guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.